No doubt. Yeah, y'all tell me when, guys.
Hi, Coach. Thank you.
Hold on just a second. He's getting it.
All right, you guys can hear everything? Can you hear Coach?
Yeah, ready when y'all are. So.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, we can hear it.
You ready?
You guys all set?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we just arrived. We're excited to be here at the Bowl site. Looking forward to a great experience. Questions?
So, like I just asked, difficult getting down here, having a tire blow out, but 17,000 miles road trips this year season. It kind of seems almost apropos that you guys kind of had that kind of happen on the way to.
Yeah, we had a 2-hour bus ride. We had a tire blow about halfway through. We had to kind of all put on some other buses, but we made it here okay. It was a lot better than flying a long way, so we're glad to be here.
Just after going through the first season in Big 12, what were kind of the biggest challenges that the league presented to you?
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's a very quality league. You've got to have quality depth. We had some injuries, really towards the first of the season. But, it's a quality league. You got to play really good football. We knew that. Anytime you play, 6 road games, 5 on the conference, and then, of course, going to Boise State, you got to play good and you got to win close games. And we come up a little short, some of those. But we did finish strong, by winning, 3 of the last 4, and we're excited to be here at this bowl game.
How did that schedule kind of prepare you for a bowl game like this against?
Well, hopefully it prepared us. I mean, we played some real quality teams in some great environments. I'd say we're fairly healthy right now, which is good. Obviously John Rice he's getting closer and closer to 100%, and when he's that way, we play really good football.
Gus, how is this Gasparilla Bowl different than where you were 2 years ago, playing Florida and everything, to this one? Does it feel different?
We're just 2 hours away. I know it's great for our crowd. We really like playing in this stadium. I don't know how much different. I think it was the first year, I was the head coach. Obviously, it's the third year playing a different opponent, but, a very quality opponent in its own right. So, we're excited to be here.
How has practice been this week? How's the team looking? Has all
Yeah, the practice has been really good. We practiced last weekend. We gave them a couple days off, and then we came back Friday. We've been practicing, I think, 5 days straight, and our guys have done a good job. You can tell the intensity as the game gets closer. Really focused on our opponent, and we'll have a Thursday practice tomorrow. We'll have a walkthrough that is really our Friday, which is Thursday, and we'll be ready to play, routine-wise.
Gus, do you guys have any? Obviously, this time of year you get a lot of opt-outs at some of these bowl games. Have you guys had any players that are?
Starter-wise, obviously, Corey Thornton is going to another school. He went in the portal, but for the most part, all of our main pieces are in place, which I think is very important, for a bowl.
You have a lot of other guys that went in the portal as well. Not a lot, but some guys.
Yeah.
Some of the players mentioned yesterday. Some of those guys were on practice field, still practicing. Does that?
Yeah.
Are those guys available to play, or is that?
Yeah. There's a couple of them. They just wanted to. They've been great teammates, and they've really helped us. Get to this point. A lot of those guys are on the scout team, but they're a part, and a lot of them just want to play more. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. And we're helping them, and they'll do a good job for other teams. But we're in the new age of college football, and our guys have done a super job. And the ones that earn the right, that helped us get here, they're going to be a part of the bowl experience, and then they'll find other places, to play.
In addition to preparing for the game, you've also had a talk with recruits and potential transfers. Just kind of tell us, what's the past few weeks been like for you?
Yeah, it's really been really interesting. I mean, the first thing is, you get done with your regular season, and, you start re-recruiting your own players. We spent a lot of time just making sure that we had our own players, not just for the bowl, but for next year. Then we're recruiting, our high school recruits. And, tomorrow's a really big day for that. And we're going to sign a great class, one of the best classes, if not the best class in school history is what we're hoping. Then the transfer portal, just to fill in some needs that we feel like we need next year. So there's a lot of moving parts. Like I said, it's a new age of college football, and you just have to adapt.
Gus, you mentioned that the portal and the timing. December now has become a really busy time for coaches. Would you be in favor of seeing that portal window maybe moved around or something, maybe to help kind of alleviate some of the stress?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moving parts, especially trying to get prepared for bowls. You know, it would be good if we could move things around to make it a little more accommodating to finish the season, and give your focus on your team as far as the bowl and everything that's concerned with that.
Coach, we talked to some players yesterday. We're going to talk to more today. Players yesterday, saying they felt motivated, felt like everybody else felt motivated. From your perspective, how motivated are these players to play Gasparilla?
Yeah, I think they're really motivated. I think it says a lot that, our team's pretty much intact. The bowl games, this day and time, it has a lot to do with who's motivated and who's not motivated. And, that's what we've been talking to our team about, and that's really been the big challenge. But I think the fact that we only have one of our really main guys not playing the game says a lot.
Gus, you mentioned a minute ago just how this is going to be maybe the best recruiting class you guys have ever had. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think it's a few things. I think, first of all, going to the Big 12, it's been a game changer for us. And then this is a program that I really believe that a lot of people see on the rise. All we need to do is get in a bit Power 5 conference, and we've done that. So the potential, and then everything that goes with it, I think there's a lot of excitement, and we're a real attractive, destination for recruits.
How much did you kind of giving up the offensive play calling to free you up for other things? How much do you think that's helped on recruiting?
Yeah, I think, like I said, is anything that's new with that. Obviously, I'm still involved, and it's just part of being a head coach. There's a lot of moving parts nowadays that you're pulled in a lot of different directions. But like I said earlier, you have to adapt.
You mentioned the recruiting. Locally, you've been able to continue to get a lot of local kids from the Orlando area.
Yeah.
What's kind of stood out to you about what the message you've heard from some of those kids?
Yeah.
How important is it to continue to mine the area?
For 3 years ago, our goal was to keep our top players at home, and really felt like if we keep our top players at home and make it popular for those guys to stay home, then we'll set up to win championships. And each year we've chipped away, and now it's more and more popular to do that. And that's how we're going to build this thing to win championships, and we're getting closer and closer. And you can see the guys that were hometown heroes. Now they're on the field and they're playing really, really good football and experience a lot of positive things. So it all works together. And like I said, I've recruited this area for a long time, even when I was in my other job. And I just know that the great players that are there locally, and that's how we're building it.
What do you know about Georgia Tech?
They're really good on offense. Their quarterback is a guy that I actually recruited at my old job. I know that he's an electric type player. They got a lot of speed at receiver position. Defensively, they do a lot of good things. We played them last year, and we thought when we got done, they were one of the better defenses we played the entire year. And so they got some of those guys back, and so it's a good challenge for us. But like I said, we're familiar with them for the fact that we played them last year.
With a win, you'll finish the season with a winning record. How big would that be for you guys to finish your inaugural Big 12 season with a winning record?
Yeah, I think it's very important, and not just that, but to get these seniors that have meant so much to our program, get them on a positive note, and get momentum, for the off season. So, it's a really important game for us.
The moving forward after the bowl game and everything, what can you take from this first year in the Big 12 that you guys can maybe refocus, look to do in the off season as you get ready for the year two?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you get through with your bowl game from a head coach's standpoint, you evaluate everything, and and what ways can you improve, from year one to year two, and that's really the goal of the head coach. And so I'll be doing that. There's some things obviously depth-wise and certain areas that I think will improve with that. And anytime you go through something for the first time, it's a learning experience. There's no doubt. There was a lot of really, really physical teams in our conference. A lot of people would look at the Big 12 like, man, let's throw it around, all that, but really it was just the opposite. So it was a learning experience. I know we'll be better, prepared in year two.
Coach, playing against Gasparilla Bowl 2 years ago, playing USF last year, here, and again back for this year. Does being in a familiar place help the team? Does it help everybody being here, being back in the city that you all know pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. I think anytime you're familiar with things, it's good. And then our fans, they're very familiar with this place. Of course, 2 years ago we packed it out, and I expect our fans to really show up again. So it'll be an exciting, game our fans and our players. But yeah, it's very comfortable being here.
Tampa's been known as kind of, I know UCF fans have called it the
Yeah.
second home, so to speak, lately for UCF. But what is it about this area that maybe you guys have been able to have success?
Yeah, well, it's just right down the road. Like I said, we've had success before. Anytime you had success before at a venue, it really helps. We're recruiting this area really hard. We got some of the players on our team, obviously Xavier Townsend, right there leading the list. But this is a very, very important area to recruit for us, and so it all really goes together.
You get a chance, I'm sure, to get some younger guys some extra practice time for the bowl. Is anyone that you stood out among the young guys? Maybe
It's a little bit different. Like, a few years back, you would have the first part of your practice to develop your young guys. Well, because of the portal and some of your guys that want to go in the portal and transfer and move, you don't have as much opportunity to do that because your depth has to be ready for the game, and so you're worried about scrimmaging guys and losing people. So we did work on developing our guys, but it wasn't as intense. It probably has been in the past because some of those guys are 2s and 3s on your special teams roster in a bowl.
Guys all set?
Thanks, Coach.